first, so I'm putting it back, or I took it off last.
Has to go
Did you
Was
make
it-
sure that your tip was all clean?
up.
I thought I did.
This entire part here?
How do I do that?
How do you do what?
Do I have to use a paper towel, or what do I?
Yep, just be very careful because that's a big piece of where your makeup comes out and how it comes out. So you just make sure that there's no makeup residue on there. What are you looking for?
I always have to remember which way the trigger goes in.
Okay, so I'm pretty good. Okay, so this is the one I took off last, so I'm gonna put this on first.
Yep. So your nozzle should always be the last thing that you take off. It should be the first thing you put back on. So your triggers, you're gonna want to put it in.
Maybe.
Like, I'm sorry. Holding on to anything's hard for me. I don't have no feeling in my hand. So if you put it in,
Okay,
in that,
and then the trigger.
no, turns around
Yep.
flat,
Okay, now what you're gonna have to do for the trigger
Yep,
is you
like
pull
that.
this piece back
and you can
and then
actually
you slide it in that hole.
slide it in that direction. Hold on.
Wait.
You still have paint on the inside of that. Do I?
Now this little pin has to go in that hole.
For this purposes, if you don't want to clean it 100% today,
Bridget, which way?
Now I get
So
it
Goes
goes.
in there?
it goes
I don't know.
This
Look
way?
it up.
Yep. The little pointy part goes up and towards your cup. Nope, the other way. The way you had it to begin with.
Oh, okay, is it backwards?
Take the needle out.
I think it's backwards.
Yep.
Just
No.
the needle, can the other things stay that I had on there?
Yes.
See the hole down there?
Yep,
where
I
it
see
needs
the
to go?
hole. I see the hole.
Peel out. Now you want to
You put
put
the little
that
kitty
in.
in the
And
hole.
it's
Put
gonna
it
be
goes
so
in there.
hard.
Slides down
Okay.
through there.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
heard
it's
it.
not easy.
You heard it.
I heard next. you put
I
your
recorded
little
it.
Okay.
This.
And I would use your fingers to stabilize because your tip is one of the most important parts of your airbrush.
And you said it goes in this way.
With the
You
pointy
bend that,
part
you're
forward
pretty
towards
much
the cup
SOL.
and point it out.
So, like, it doesn't have an eye or anything, right? I just am able to put it in.
Yep, just be very
Okay,
careful. and
before
it in
you
as
put
straight
that
as you
needle
can.
in, Audrey, look and see if you can find where the needle is sliced.
That's what okay, that's what I was asking.
And that slice needs to face
Yeah, she's gonna
the top part of the airbrush. It is very hard to find.
I don't understand.
It's right there.
That's the hardest.
Is that right?
Oh, it must just fall right in place a little bit.
Here's another one of these.
We're
So-
still on trigger.
That's okay. And this is the hardest part. And then
That's hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, we'll share here. We'll share.
is that okay? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll share it as long as it's okay.
So is this
Yeah, and they're not dirty.
the
so we're
sliced
good.
part?
Yep. You see where the slice is?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yep.
So that goes up?
That part goes up towards the cup. Yep. Up towards the top.
Okay.
See why it's so. When the
Yeah.
kids, they don't even look to see where that's at. They just stick it back in, and then they're like, "Why isn't this working?"
Yeah,
Makes sense.
this is frustrating me.
It's. Imagine how frustrating it is
Yeah.
to a student
Yeah.
who's under a time limit.
Right.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not right.
The couple of those kids were nearly in
I
tears
bet.
last year. They were
I
so,
bet.
and we
Okay.
couldn't do anything.
Your
this
needle
way?
is not put in all the way.
Oh, okay.
One way to be able to tell that is you look at this end. Is your
Okay.
needle point sticking out?
Okay. Awesome. I just didn't want to be too heavy-handed.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Once it hits to that tip, it's going to get a little bit sticky, and you're only going to be able to push it so far.
Now just look and make sure your tip is sticking out on the end there. You can actually probably pull this off. You can see where it's actually at. The reason this is on here is to protect it.
Well, and what I tell the kids not to pull that off, if you take your finger and you push into it, you'll be able to feel it without bending the tip of the needle.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's wanted to show you that it is actually
Okay.
sticking out. So if you just take it, you can
No,
kind of feel it
that's
poke you.
right. Yes, you
can't feel
have
it
it. You have it
poking
right.
me,
Yes.
Okay.
I guess this one doesn't have a longer needle, but you can see it sticking out,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
So you're
Now
all the way
it
in
should.
now.
And then your trigger needs.
And what were you saying about the?
Okay. First, you need to get your housing in. Then you need to put your trigger in.
Oh, this part.
Because the trigger, you see where there's, if you look in the trigger, see how this is? The needle is going to slide through there.
Okay.
I did it!
Yay, Audrey!